Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. The show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies, how the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. BHG Financial is a leader in small business and unsecured personal loans and a creator of one of the largest community bank networks in the country. And with me is Albert Crawford, Chairman, CEO, co-founder of BHG Financial. So great to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me, Jane. Really appreciate it.
As one of the founders of BHG, tell us about yourself, the company. How did you get started? Why did you start the company?
Sure. Approximately about 23 years ago, we started the business, and we had an idea that the small business individual, the professional, didn't really have a place to get a business loan. And when I say business loan, working capital. Capital just to really run your day-to-day operations. There were line of credits, there were short-term facilities, you had to secure it with your house and other stuff. But really for the entrepreneur, there wasn't a product that said, hey, I can get $100,000, I can get it quickly and efficiently, and I can pay it back maybe over the next 7 to 10 years in equal payments. So we came up with the idea that there was a need in the marketplace for it. And we used a combination of technology to acquire a lot of the information to make it easier for the borrower. And then we used a little bit of traditional banking where we had credit officers and we reviewed your credit and try to give a little bit of a white glove concierge service. Okay. So you could come into us on, let's say, Monday, and we wanted to fund you the next day, Tuesday, which was a little bit different at the time for the banking industry.
Do you have any stories about how you've helped specifically businesses?
We have a tremendous amount. One of our niche loans has been kind of the solopreneur entrepreneurial loan. And that means you have a W-2 job as you do today, but you have an idea. There's 21 million solopreneurs in the United States, and a lot of them have come about after COVID, during COVID. People are working from home, and people need seed capital. So we really look at your daytime job and say, are you going to stay in your daytime job while you're trying out this new business? If you are, we don't look at the business. We put no value into the business in terms of pro formas or underwriting. We look at you. And so we've had a lot of people come in. We have an individual, she was looking to start a med spa, and she was a pharmacist of all things. In upstate New York, we gave her the seed capital to start the med spa. She worked the med spa a lot at night and in different days when she wasn't having to do the pharmaceutical work, and is very profitable. We have a gal out in Idaho who has borrowed 6 different loans from us. She has VRBOs. So she actually, I think she was an engineer, wanted to start up a little DBA. She started a DBA up and has been very successful with the seed capital for each one of those houses and apartments that she bought to run a little VRBO. Those are 2 unique stories, but there's thousands of them where people have ideas. They need seed capital. They sometimes want it quickly. They could probably take longer to get it, but the fact that we can give it to them in a couple of days is very appealing. So the stories are really exciting because people come back to us and they say, you know, we started this business, we had a dream, we had hope, and it's doing really, really well right now. We also do a lot of just additional capital for existing businesses. Our consumer business has been growing tremendously over the last 5 years, where somebody wants to put a pool in their backyard. They don't want to put their home up as a home improvement loan, and we can lend them the $50,000 to put the pool in, and they can get it from us in 2 days. So it's been a lot of fun working with, we've worked with hundreds of thousands of borrowers over the years. We've done about $17 billion in loans in these entrepreneurial as well as consumer and business loans. And we have a very big population of people that come back to us second, third, fourth times, which is exciting too.
Yeah, well, it provides a really important service to the whole kind of, especially small business economy, to help them have the capital to, grow and provide jobs and all of that. So it's great to hear about BHG.
Well, thank you
so
very much, and appreciate the time today, and thank you for having me in again.
Thank you.
What's your first memory of having a gap?
You know, I never really thought about it until I was older.
In the moment, it was 50 years to the making. Here we go.
ReSkills is a global platform for learners seeking knowledge online where they can learn anytime, anywhere. And with me is the CEO and founder, Jin Tan. Welcome here from Malaysia. Great to have you here in New York.
Hi, thank you, thank you. I'm excited and happy to be here.
Yeah. So tell me about the company. When did you start it? Why did you start it?
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name is Jin. I'm the CEO and founder of ReSkills. Came all the way from Malaysia to New York. Yeah, excited to be here. Yeah, I was in the tech industry for the last 13 years. When pandemic struck, everyone was, are not stable. They are worried about a lot of things. But I saw one big problem to solve, which is bringing technology and digitalization into education. All right. I think we all know this has been expanding since the pandemic, especially in our region, right? So that's where I started ReSkills to bring tech, and the digitalization solution to make education affordable is the key word and accessible to anyone, anywhere in the world. That's where ReSkills was born back in 2020.
Are you here in the U.S. or plan to be?
Yes, I think this trip we are moving here is because to explore opportunity, and of course the plan is to start a new market here for not only the America, the Latin America, the Europe and so on. We are exploring, but we are currently our base, our learners and our coaches are very strong in the part that we are from, the Asia and Africa. So we have around more than 1 million learners right now on our platform. So coming from different countries. Focus on Asia and Africa. We are working with close to 700 what we call coaches from around the world to provide content in the platform on a daily basis to millions of learners that are learning on our platform.
Would you be looking to hire people in the U.S.?
Yeah. So the plan right now to come here is to also bring in coaches from U.S. that they can access to the another part of the world of learners they can touch on as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So it sounds like you're on your way to becoming a global company. So what is the future for ReSkills?
Yeah, I think the future is very bright for us, right? There's one problem, it's always filling the gap, the bridge between the West and the East, That is always the missing gap. That's where, number one, we are trying to solve. Number two, I think we have opened up a door that people can come to one place and get connected to the knowledge that we are providing on the global scale that everyone can access easily. I think future AI play a very important part, as you mentioned, right? I think this part of the world, AI is very advanced, but you have to go back to the other part of the world. We are still catching up a lot. That's where I see coming here to learn more and bring this new technology to enhance and uplift our platform to the next level. I think this will benefit more people that are touching the next billion of lives around the world.
Yeah, very interesting. Best of luck. Thank you so much, Jim, for coming in.
Thank you so much.
HighLevel is a marketing agency-based program that boasts a fixed-priced model with the capability to white-label marketing agency services. And with me are the co-founders, Varun, Vairavan, and also Robin Alex. Great to have you here. And my co-host, Colin Jordan. Great to have you back here at the NASDAQ. So just tell me about the history of HighLevel. What problem were you trying to solve when you created the company?
Yeah, so we started back, well, 6 years ago now. We started out as a software really going after small businesses, but the challenge there was the software is not everything that you need. You actually need someone to help implement it. So we started working with marketing agencies early on with the idea that marketing agencies can leverage the software, they can white label it, put their brand on it, go to these same small businesses and be the person to help implement the software. And through that, we've been able to grow the past 5-6 years, close to 60,000 customers now.
Very good. And you know, marketing has evolved tremendously over these past few years. So tell us a little bit more about the marketing industry, the way that it's continuing to evolve, and kind of how you guys are attacking that.
Yeah, you know, right now everything's all about AI. You got to have AI layered into it. But as small businesses, you're always focused on, you know, getting more leads in, getting more contacts, getting more people to join your business. And so the way to do that is not only through online advertising, whether it's through Facebook ads, Google ads, but then also communicating with them. So text messaging, emailing, making sure all those communication paths are right there at your fingertips. And we want to make it accessible for every business to be able to do that.
I kind of have a two-parter here. So number one, as far as the future goes, right? So from a product roadmap perspective, you talked a little bit about AI again in some of the products that you have rolling out, but is there anything remarkable that we should be on our radar right now?
Yeah,
I mean, there's multiple things we do. So the first thing that's interesting about how we build the roadmap is we actually have an ideas list that all of our customers go put ideas on, and the customer base votes on it. So we're very democratic in how we decide to build, what we decide to build, and they can follow along the entire journey. So one item that we're working on now is inbound calling, and this is like a overflow service. So when a business receives a call, if they're not able to answer it, AI can answer the call for them, and it will take a message on a call. So it will answer the call as your business. I'm sorry, but Bob's not available. Can I take a message? Can I get your phone number? I'll have him call back as soon as possible. So what an answering service used to do before, the AI can do for you. And that's something we're releasing this quarter.
Awesome. And then so part two, overall from a company perspective, I heard you have some news to announce, which is awesome, but give us a little bit of idea. Is there anything coming up? Anything else that should be on our radar from a company perspective?
Yeah, so we did partner with a private equity firm to become a new minority investor with us. It's General Atlantic.
Wow.
They're a phenomenal firm. You know, they've worked with you know, the Snapchats, the Ubers, all the largest companies out there. You know, they're basically doing the checkbox for us, saying that yeah, this is a legitimate company. You know, in what they're doing and their approach, and something super innovative. So we're excited about that, and really partnering with them is going to allow us to really continuing what we've already been doing, but at a larger scale. So as we go into other markets, get into, you know, from a worldwide aspect, partnering with a company like that will get us there a lot faster and do it in the right ways.
That's awesome.
Yeah, congratulations on that. That's great.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you so much for coming in and explaining HighLevel.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
What's your first memory of having a gap?
You know, I never really thought about it until I was older.
In the moment, it was 50 years in the making. Here we go.
Rosa Realty is a holding company for 5 agent-centric, technology-integrated, cloud-based, multi-service real estate segments. And with me is Joe LaRosa, the CEO of LaRosa Holdings, and also Peter Goldstein, CEO and founder of Exchange Listing and also Emmis Capital. And let's start with you, Peter. I mean, I know you wrote a book and you've been working with companies to take them public. Start with your book, and then let's talk a little bit about what you do for businesses.
Thanks, Jane. Yeah, I have a 35-year background as an entrepreneur, majority of that in the capital markets, as an investment banker, advisor, investor, and founder. And I wrote a book called The Entrepreneur's IPO to really educate entrepreneurs about what's possible for small cap and micro cap companies. You know, there's a myth around Wall Street where everybody thinks you need to be a unicorn in order to do an IPO. Well, it's just not true. So the book is a practical guide. It also includes top industry experts with their tips and opportunities to educate entrepreneurs about listing their companies and accessing the capital markets.
Now, this is really valuable information because you're absolutely right. A lot of people are like, oh, there's no way you can go public. So what's a couple pieces of advice you would give to small companies?
Prepare early. It's a journey. You know, we like to look 12, 18, 24 months out from your listing and then bring in a team of advisors and professionals that can teach you the necessary aspects of corporate governance, of financial reporting, making sure your organization and your operations are geared towards public ownership. Most founders are typically oriented around private ownership and aren't used to the transparency and the governance required. And then, of course, there's all the necessary listing metrics. And all of these things take time, and I like to say to practice. And then to be able to be prepared for when the markets open. Like in this current market, you know, the IPO markets are doing better now than they have in 15 years, although everybody thinks the market is closed. First quarter had an increase of 231% over last year at this time. So we want entrepreneurs to understand you want to be ready and prepared for when you go to market, and of course in this case, when the markets open more fully.
Yeah, and you helped Joe of Joe LaRosa go public. So can you explain what happened, and then we'll talk to Joe a little bit about that as well?
So we work, and we love to work with dynamic entrepreneurs who have a commitment and a vision to going public. So we were introduced to Joe and really love the business model that he has, and work to bring in all of the ecosystem necessary for Joe to prepare for his IPO. Educating him, educating his staff, working with the board, and developing the relationships with the investment bankers, the attorneys, the exchange directly. We work directly with the NASDAQ, and spend all the time necessary to prepare him for his successful listing.
And so, you know, we've looked at other real estate companies out there that have created a revenue share model, but it's very complex. And when you look at, you know, and you kind of dig down deep into the dynamics of what they offer, very few agents actually make enough money to be considered to be in the black, right? After they're paying all their fees and whatever else, they're still losing money. So we wanted to create a very simple system that was very easy to understand, and that's also a big component of why ours is so different. And where agents can make money literally day one. There's no waiting to unlock your level 1 to go to level 2, level 3. There's no waiting for how many deals to have to close. Literally, an agent at LaRosa can hire one agent, and on that agent that they hire, then their very first closing, they're able to actually generate some revenue sharing now from that agent's transaction. So that's what makes our model very different, and we feel in today's market, because of everything that's happening, it's essential for us to create that opportunity for agents.
And AI could play a role in this as well. How will AI work with the real estate industry?
You know, so I've been, you know, following AI now for the last several years, right? It's been around, but over the last, I would say, 18 months, it's picked up a lot of momentum, and it's become kind of a sexy name out there. And so we don't want agents to get intimidated and feel like they're going to be replaced by AI, right? So we wanted to create our own system internally at LaRosa called Jamie that was going to allow for agents to work directly with AI. I feel that it's the agents that don't adapt to today's technology, those are the ones that are going to be left behind, right? So we wanted to create opportunities for agents to work smarter, not harder. We built a phenomenal system that allows the agents to be able to do that, and as well as we've now started to focus on the consumer side. So we don't want to just be a company that is really focused on being agent-centric, but as well as being consumer-centric.
Yeah, and what are your growth plans for the company?
So, you know, we are just in a place right now where, being a publicly traded company, having the opportunity now to expand across the United States. Our model, again, is very different. So a lot of the traditional brokerages, I have been reaching out, hearing about LaRosa and seeing kind of the momentum that we've been able to create. And we're having opportunities now on the M&A side now across the United States. And plus, we've been very active. I would say we've been almost averaging at least 2 acquisitions per month now since we've actually gone public back in October. So we're very excited for the opportunity now ahead and really kind of become one of the leaders in the real estate space. Yeah,
and Peter, let's finish. Tell me your book again, and then also any other last pieces of advice for companies that may watch this interview and go, hey, you know, maybe I can go public.
So the book is called The Entrepreneur's IPO, and it really is geared towards entrepreneurs like Joe who want to understand what's possible in the world of listing their companies. Small cap and micro cap is our area of focus. And the reality that you can access capital as an alternative to private equity and venture capital. Currently there's trillions of dollars on the sidelines. We're still getting companies done, and as I mentioned earlier, the IPO market, surprisingly, is much stronger than people realize. So reading the book, it's available on Amazon. You can get some beginning of the education. Of course, anybody can reach out directly to me, and I'm happy to provide information. And specifically, I think the takeaway is, if you're committed to the journey, start early. Prepare yourself early for when the opportunity comes that you really do have the ability to attract significant investors, significant capital that's transformative in nature.
Yeah, no, good advice. I think I might read that book. So thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Your data is vulnerable to hackers, with email being the cause of 91% of all cyber attacks. Introducing SKUR, Swiss-hosted, data-mine-free, private and secure solutions to protect your communications. Secure Mail offers secure and private email communication. Secure Messenger offers private and secure chats. Secure VPN encrypts your internet traffic and protects your digital identity. Regain your privacy today. Visit Sekur at sekur.com.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to your Sekur Privacy and Security segment. I'm Anna Berry, and this is Alain Ghiai, the CEO of Sekur. The weekly hack tackles something pretty big. AT&T had a data leak. It hit 73 million current and former users. Luckily, I don't have my provider with AT&T, but it could happen to any of the big tech companies, couldn't it, Alain?
Yeah, and what happened is it did happen to the other two telecom operator, I think, T-Mobile, Verizon. I'm not with AT&T, but what's really horrific here, I mean, we're talking about 73 million people, and they don't know if it's on AT&T that they breach or one of their vendors. And that makes a big difference. If you're using a vendor, that means you're communicating and you're basically, your communications are not safe, obviously. And that also means that the vendor may have sold the data. You know how they all sell each other's data. One of my advisor board members sent me something yesterday that Netflix got 100 million for Facebook for ads, and then Facebook gave their data. They exchange each other's data. Whoever got which one, I forgot. But it's all over X, on the X platform, formerly Twitter. And that's what's happening every day. And unfortunately, now you've got 73 million people with their social security number and their entire information in the dark web. So that's pretty bad.
Well, what's one thing an everyday person like myself and our viewers can do to prevent something like this happening to them?
Well, here's the thing. Your email account is attached to a lot of stuff today. So what we recommend is, first of all, don't give data as much as you can. Don't go on social media. But if you have to give your email to AT&T or someone, why don't you use the Sekur system? Because as an individual, you get 5 disposable emails. That means you can say, bobsmith@sekur.com, and that email is a throwable email. We call it an alias. And at least that email is not tied to everything else that you do, because we use the same emails for banking, for medical, for legal. And a lot of time, these hackers can put 2 and 2 together and get to your social security, get to a database that has your info. So I recommend constantly changing your email. We offer that. And we also don't sell your emails, and we don't data mine you. So that will give you a lot of protection. Also, if you go on the internet these days, you need to protect your IP address and your identity. Our Secure VPN uses Swiss IP addresses, proprietary. We don't use third-party big tech platforms or a hosting provider. And what's critical to know is that in Switzerland, the law dictates that your IP address is your private property. So we can't even touch anything that you do unless we have written confirmation from you that it's okay to sell your data, which nobody would do in their rightful mind, obviously. So that's a way to do it. Our Secure Mail also has that secure send feature that you can send an email in full privacy to a non-secure user. So I'd recommend using really tight private email systems and communication now.
Well, there you have it. The privacy is ingrained in the Swiss culture, and this is Swiss hosted. Now, you said the mail, you also have the messenger. Talk a little bit about that, because we've hit on the VPN. So tell us about the messenger as well.
So the messenger is Secure Messenger is also part of our solution. It basically is a way to message just like you would use any of these other big tech, except we are not. We don't require your phone number, so that protects you. It renders you invisible to hackers trying to find you by name and phone number. It's got a vetting process. So if you have a family with kids, I'd recommend having the kids use a secure messenger so they can accept only the people they know. You can also chat with someone who doesn't have secure through chat by invite. So we have a package like that. I'd recommend everybody to go to sekur.com, take a look at what we have, and also go to the help. And we have video tutorials on everything. But everything that we do has the Swiss privacy laws embedded in there, the non-big tech, non-open source, everything is proprietary, and we don't data mine you, and we don't manipulate your data. Your data is yours.
Perfect. And what is the promo code for our viewers today?
Promo code privacy, and you get 15% off any solutions for the next 5 years. You have very affordable solutions from like $9 up on a monthly basis. You'll see the packages that are on sekur.com, and we welcome anybody who wants to take their privacy back.
Perfect. There you have it. It's the weekly hack. Privacy has arrived with Sekur. Thanks so much, Alain. Always great talking and learning from you.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks, everyone, for watching.